Hi everyone. So it has been a little bit since I posted my last video. It was back towards the beginning of June, I think, was my last video. And here it is, it's the beginning of July. So it's been about a month. Um, by the way, my name is Jennifer, and my channel here is called Jennifer Turning the Page. And so I have mentioned in my past videos that my by profession, I'm an educator, and that means, of course, that I have some downtime during the summer months. And um, I've stated this before. I don't want this to be a channel that's all about teaching, and definitely not about griping about teaching. Um, so I'm not going to dwell on that fact, other than to say that um, the job of teaching and being in the classroom is, of course, one that is very demanding, and it can really take its toll on you both physically and mentally, to say the least, of the toll it takes um, emotionally. And I think that a lot of educators, and I'm including myself in this, really rely on at least those first few weeks of the summer break, or a set time of the summer break, that they just recuperate. They just recharge their battery to prepare for that next school year that's coming along. And I am no different than that. And so that's kind of what I've been doing the past few weeks. And that's why I haven't been here. Um, making videos and posting them. I took my kids on a little vacation, which was really great. And then my husband and I had a little overnight kind of getaway that we really enjoyed, just the two of us together, and that was wonderful. And then I will just be completely honest, I have either spent the rest of that time being incredibly busy or incredibly lazy. Some of those days I was very busy. There've been some things that I've worked on and that I've accomplished, and then there have been some days when I just took the day and read a book, and took a nap, because that's what restoring and recharging your batteries looks like. It's being able to take some time to just breathe. If reading's your thing, then that's what you do. If binge watching Netflix is your thing, that's what you do. If getting away to the beach is your thing, that's what you do. But it's whatever, helps you to prepare for when that, what I always call that snowball effect, gets going again. And so um, hopefully that helps you to know why I've been away and what I've been doing. Now, just to kind of bring you up to date, um, I have moved from the 1 milligram dose of Wegovy up to the 1.7 milligram dose of Wegovy. And I haven't, I've only, let's see, this is today for me is Thursday. No, today for me is Friday. Sorry, I had to stop and think. Today for me is Friday. And my first dose of the 1.7 milligram was this past Monday. So essentially, and it was Monday night at bedtime is when I do my injections. So really and truly, I've only had like 4 full days that I've been on that, for that dose. Um, I'm it's just ecstatic to report that I have not had any major side effects. Now, I've experienced some side effects. I've had some really gnarly heartburn, and God help me, some of the sulfur burps that you hear people talk about. If you follow other people who do the GLP1 um, stuff, but those have all been things that have been manageable, and I haven't had any of the when I went to the 1 milligram, um, that first week, um, was rough because it was a lot of diarrhea and having difficulty like getting away from the bathroom. And the mornings were really the worst. And trying to get away from the bathroom long enough to get ready for work was nightmarish. So none of that this time. Um, Trying to think, what were some of the other things from that one? The diarrhea was like the biggest one. A little bit of nausea, but it wasn't like seriously terrible. And I have had a little bit of nausea with this step up also, but it's been more related to, it's not out of the blue nauseousness. It's related to um, something that I've tried to eat or drink, mainly drink. I've had a really hard time finding something that's satisfying to drink. And you're going to say, what? No, seriously, because what I've noticed is drinking plain water is fine unless I drink it from the refrigerator, which, y'all, I'm in Kentucky. And this past week in Kentucky has been, well, it's definitely been hotter than Hades. And all I've wanted is something cold to drink. When I try to drink cold water, I get horrible heartburn. And I thought, this is nuts. Water can't give you heartburn. Well, according to ChatGPT, cold water can make heartburn worse. So if you are already experiencing or susceptible to heartburn, which obviously I am, okay, I had issues with heartburn prior to doing the GLP-1. And so now that I am on the GLP-1 and that is a side effect, I think it's just been really super gnarly for me because I'm already susceptible to it. And then I was blown away when it said, yes, cold water, not just water in general, but cold water can make it worse. And what I found is that if I will put tap water over ice, it cools it without making it super cold, and I can tolerate that. Um, Anything, things that are like artificially sweetened, Um, they still taste good, but after I've had just, a few sips, a few swallows, it starts to make me feel kind of nauseous. Anything that's bubbly, soda, um, I'm noticing it makes the heartburn worse. So I have had the devil of a time finding things to drink that are both satisfying and also aren't making me feel nauseous. So, um, I did try I did try a lower sugar Gatorade, so it doesn't have any artificial sweetener in it. This afternoon, I got that for myself, one of the local little stores here, and that was remarkably refreshing and satisfying, and did not make me nauseous to drink. Now I sipped it. It took me several hours to drink it. Um, but that's probably going to be a go-to for me now that I've discovered it. Now, as far as weight loss, I have lost a little bit on the scale, but nothing significant. So I'm not even going to talk about that a whole lot, what the scale is saying. But I am kind of like, I'm noticing, I know the weight loss is coming because I'm noticing that I can't eat it. I can't eat in a day what I used to be able to eat. Just can't. I get full a whole lot faster. And um, I know that they say that when you're on a GLP-1, like I am, that you should be eating several small meals throughout the day. But y'all, I don't want to eat until late in the day. So I get up in the morning and I will have a protein. I've been having a protein shake in the morning because I know that I need to have something and I need to be getting my protein in. And so I've been having a protein shake in the mornings. Not really because I necessarily like am like hungry. I'm not hungry. Um, it just kind of, I'm usually thirsty. I am still experiencing thirst. And so I'm usually kind of thirsty. The one that I like is the Super Coffee brand. So it's got a little bit of caffeine in it because I've kind of stopped drinking coffee very, very first thing in the morning. And so it kind of satisfies that want for caffeine. And it just kind of helps get my day off to a pretty decent start. And I don't want anything else then. I don't even think about food until pretty much like late, super late lunch or early supper time. And then I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm starting to feel a little hungry. I could eat something. And so, like I told you, I've only been on this dose for about 4 days, but I can tell you that in those 4 days, we've done some eating out. And um, ordering a meal out, it's not been any trouble for me to consume that whole meal. The last several meals that I have eaten out since I took that injection, I've been able to eat about half at at the time of the meal, and then I'm like stuffed and I don't want any more of it right then. And I've been able to, couple times I've just given the rest of the meal away to someone that I was eating with, because a lot of times my husband or one of my boys especially will want my leftovers, what I'm not going to eat, and they eat it. But on two other occasions, I have saved that, put it away in the refrigerator, and about 4 hours later, I'll feel a little peckish, and I will go ahead and maybe finish it. Y'all, that's just a meal, and that's all I've consumed for the entire day. And I'm trying to order things that are not going to be horribly calorically dense, if that makes any sense. So, like for example, today I had my husband, we had some errands to run in town. And when we were finished, he said, let's just get some Captain D's and take that home, and that'll be supper tonight. And I was like, okay, we can do that. Well, now when I go to Captain D's, I don't get the fish meal because of all the breading that's on the fish. I know it makes it extremely calorically dense, even though fish should be, good for you. I don't like the quote unquote healthy fish, like the grilled fish stuff. I don't like it. So I started ordering the chicken. And instead of getting the fries and coleslaw, I get the side of broccoli. I get a double side of broccoli. And so today, when we ordered that out, and I usually give away one hush puppy and I keep one hush puppy because I love hush puppies, but I know it's just fried cornbread mix. And that's, while it's very tasty, it's also going to be calorically dense and not a good thing to pig out on. So I got the exactly that. I got the 4-piece chicken and a double side of broccoli. I gave away one of the hush puppies to my husband. I ate 2 of my pieces of fish, and I ate one of the little containers of broccoli because it came, with 2 of them in there. And I didn't even eat the entire container because, y'all, I'm picky. I only like the flowerets. I don't like the stalks on broccoli at all. And so I still had like a container full of broccoli stalks because I just bit the flowerets off of each one and put the stalks back. I I was full after that. I put what was left over into the refrigerator. We sat around for a little bit after supper, and then I got a call from a friend that some other friends were in town, come over and visit. We went, we visited, we were gone for a while. Come back home. It's probably been 4 hours or so since we had supper, and I'm feeling a little bit peckish. So I didn't really want the broccoli, but I wanted my chicken. So I got my chicken out and I ate it. Um, the The craving for sweets is not completely gone, but it's not um, it's not there like a driving force anymore. And so I have gotten, actually I was given some of these little snack sized Snickers, like the little tiny, they sometimes call them fun size or whatever. These were even tinier than fun size. I don't know what size it's called, but I had some of those, and I can get me like 3 or 4 of those, which is basically like 3 or 4 bites, and I'm totally satisfied. I feel like I've really had something good to eat. That's my whole day of eating. I just told you everything that I ate for the day. So I had a container of broccoli florets. I had 4 small chicken finger things, and I had probably might have had 6 of those little bites. And I had that protein shake this morning. That was my whole day. So I know that's not all what some of the health nut people, that's probably not the most polite way to say that, really health conscious people out there are going to be telling you should be eating. I'm not telling you to eat what I'm eating. I'm telling you what I ate. And when I compare that to what I would have eaten in previous days, and when I look at the actual calorie count, I am way below what I need to have for the day, because I need to have somewhere between, the nutritionist that I saw said that I didn't need to drop below 12, and I shouldn't be going over like 17. So somewhere between 1,200 and 1,700 calories, give or take, or somewhere within that range is what I should be getting daily. Y'all, I'm not getting anywhere near that. Okay. That wasn't 1,200 calories worth of food. And I know, because I have gone in, I don't do it every day because y'all, I'm busy living life, but I do have an app on my phone, and it allows me to put in food and keep track of the calories. And I've done it several days now this week. And guess what? I'm coming in way under. I'm closing out my day 700-800 calories under where I need to be according to this, that I have set up. And I have it set up the way the nutritionist told me to set it up, the way the dietitian told me to set it up. So it's set up within the calorie count that I just gave you. And even if I'm trying to get to 1,200, I'm still, below the 1,200, let alone, you know, being conscious of not going over 1,700. So I have seen a tiny dip on my scale, but not a significant one yet. But I will tell you, I think it's a significant dip is coming, um, because I don't think that you know, I know that I'm running a calorie deficit, and I don't feel like I'm being deprived or that I'm starving myself. I feel completely satisfied. And that's the big difference that I'm noticing right now. Like, that's the thing that's making me really happy right now, is that um, in the past, when I have tried diets, just dieting alone with no help, like not the GLP1, um, I could do really well for the first several days, maybe even a couple weeks. I could hang in there, buddy. I could count my calories every day, especially in the summertime when school wasn't going on, because I had that little bit of extra brain power to devote to doing it. And it would work. I would see results, but I couldn't hang with it because I was always hungry, and I was always having to think about food, and food was always on my mind. And it was like this self-defeating cycle, because I would lose a little bit of weight, but then I would fall under the bus, so to speak. And the next thing I know, I've gained back everything that I've lost plus a little bit more. And that just kept that weight climbing and climbing and climbing. And so I was always one step forward and two steps back. I was listening to a lady the other day who was talking about, I don't remember her name, so forgive me. And I saw her on YouTube, and she's according to what she had to say about herself, she is a physician who specializes in obesity. And she said that there is a difference with someone who is, say, 10 to 20 pounds, 20, even 25 pounds overweight, trying to lose back down versus someone who is 100, 120 pounds, or more overweight, trying to lose all the way back down to where they need to be. Because it has something to do with your body's set point. And you can lose a certain amount of weight below that set point, and your body doesn't fight to get you back to that set point. It can adjust to a new set point, apparently. If I look at this, is my interpretation of what she said, okay? But if you are needing to lose 100 or more pounds, your body, once you get a certain amount of weight off, your body starts fighting you because you're dropping so far below your set point. And so people constantly experience like a relapse in that gaining of weight. And it's it's been shown study after study that the majority of people don't just gain back what they lost, they gain back what they lost plus. So it's like you're constantly digging a hole, and while you're digging the hole, the dirt's just falling back in on top of you. um and you can never truly dig your hole. You can never dig your way out because you can't really get anywhere. And that's what makes real obesity, truly being obese, it makes it such a hard thing for people to overcome. And I thought, wow, that makes such perfect sense. Now, if I'm wrong about that, by all means, leave me a comment. Tell me where I'm wrong, because I'm just telling you what I saw from this one person. But it just made so much sense that it's like, yeah, because it speaks to my lived experience. Um, so I don't have like any huge thing to report to you on this video other than to kind of bring you up to date with what I've been doing for the past month and what I'm noticing and seeing and what my hopes are. I did talk to you in some of my previous videos about wanting to write, and I will tell you that it is my intention to start carving out time during my day for that this month, and then to hopefully, even after school starts, to periodically throughout the week carve out a little bit of time for that. I'm not going to say I can do it every day, but I just needed June. I just needed June. I needed it to just recharge, and I hope you guys understand. At some point in the next few years, I'm thinking, the retirement is on the horizon for me. And when that happens, it won't, I might need the first few weeks to recharge, but then it's going to be me realizing that, hey, I have time now to really start devoting to some of these projects that I know I don't have time for right now while I'm teaching. And so I'm looking forward to that aspect of the journey and turning the page, but it's not here yet. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch. I so very much appreciate it. I am sorry that I've been gone for as long as I've been gone. I'm going to try to start getting back on here again on as regular a basis as I can. I am always telling myself I'm going to set these schedules and I'm going to do these things, these schedules. And the only schedule I'm really good at keeping is my school schedule when school starts back. Because I guess I know that the summers are so transient, and establishing a schedule for a month or two and then having it upended when my duties begin all over again in the classroom, the motivation just isn't there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to try to get back to posting as often as I was before. I took this little month off, and certainly letting you know what's going on moving forward. Now that I'm at the dose where the majority of people do report starting to see um, more significant changes start taking place. I'm very excited about that. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't already done so, please, um, like, share, and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, I would love for you to do that. I just ask, that we all try to be positive and use positive language. That's what I tell my students when we share with one another, that we're going to be positive in doing so. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.